So hello and welcome to another Sprues and Brews video. Today we're joined by Mike Konas from Dog Mite Games. How are you doing, Mike? Thanks for joining
I'm
us on the show.
Thanks for having me, man. I'm doing great.
Excellent. Well, you do a bit of a really kind of cool company that makes a lot of role-playing game and kind of game accessories, all kind of finely crafted out of wood. Do you want to tell us a little bit about who you are and what you do at Dogmite?
Yeah, I'm one of the founders. We started the company about 10 years ago, me and a friend of mine, who's also named Mike. And I'm the founder and COO right now, which means I basically oversee all production and all ops in the office. So I
Amazing.
started as a professor of fine art, which is a little bit different than my
A little
job
bit different, a
requirements
little bit
now,
different.
but it's interesting.
I
So
guess I guess it's transferable skills though, with the kind of handcrafted nature of everything.
yeah, and it's all creative problem solving, right? Whether it's business or making a painting or teaching. I don't know. I always see it as one set of the same type of challenges.
Yeah. Okay, cool. So what is it that Dogmite does?
We make what kick-ass gaming gear for RPGs and board games, and we kind of focus on a mix between beauty and utility.
Hmm.
We game a lot here, and we use everything, but we want to make sure that we can take it up a notch. Whether that's using exotic hardwoods or doing amazing finishes on really crazy customizable stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I was gonna say we got sent the Valhalla screen recently, and we put the review of that up on YouTube, and we were playing D&D the other night using it, and it is absolutely gorgeous, but B, the utility of all the magnets and being able to pin all your notes and even your maps behind the screens, something that
Yeah,
you
it's
can't really
huge.
do on a basic kind of card fold out DM screen, isn't it?
Yep, yep. I DM a lot, and I think that's one of the reasons we wanted something so utility driven because everybody uses the cardboard D&D screens, and how many of those charts do you actually
Yeah,
use?
exactly.
And I wanted something that was certainly customizable. I could print up my notes and kind of the things that I use on a regular basis. And when you're, I don't know, do you DM?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, and you know how it is. Like you need different prompts. I write myself like think about what the smell is like or something like weird little
Yeah.
prompts that aren't on the back of that screens that experienced DMs don't really need as often.
Yeah, well, yeah, everyone ends up with lots of post-it notes on the back of the kind of pre-prepared one,
Mm-hmm.
and then it kind of defeats the object. Where the other
Yeah.
night, the little, I don't know what your official term for them, but the little kind of perspex magnetic sheets that go on where you can write notes on during the game was really good for bullet points for when inevitably the party goes off in a completely different direction. You want to put some together, some stuff on the fly. At least you've got it on the back of your screen then.
Yes, exactly. And I'm terrible at taking notes, and it kind of helps me. I need to rely on my players a lot to hey, what happened again at the end of last session because I forgot. So those
Yeah.
help a little bit if I just jot it down really quickly.
And what was really cool as well is, say if you, I don't know, you play D&D on a Tuesday, but you play Cyberpunk on a Thursday, you can use the same screen and just swap out the bits,
Yep,
which
yep,
is
yeah,
awesome.
exactly. That was part of it too. We play a lot of different games, so
Yeah,
having something that kind of cross that boundary is important,
well, that's
and
really cool.
not just 5e exclusive because that's a lot of people play a lot of different things, and it's nice to open that up a little bit.
Yeah, exactly. So when did you guys get started then?
We started 10 years ago. We put out two really crappy games, and we kickstarted them both. The first one, I don't even think you can find it anymore, but it was like we ran it on a Kickstarter, and we were kind of taken over the funding limit by my Aunt Linda, like put us over the
Right.
edge. So it wasn't exactly super profitable. And then we did another smaller game that did pretty well, like in the $15,000 range. And then while we were waiting for the games to be produced, we did a small Kickstarter just for a really simple Candlebox dice box.
Hmm.
And we did like three times that on the Kickstarter that we did for either of the games. The other owner, Mike, was a hobbyist woodworker. I had done a bunch when I was painting. I'd build my own frames or build all the stretcher bars, and it was just a really good fit for us. And we liked being in the shop and producing those a lot more than I liked being in the office, which is weird because it's come full circle now. But But yeah, we just had a really good time. And then we did a little case called the Adventure Case. And that was like a portable GM station. So it opened up, it was a box and had wings on it that would let it set up and be a little DM screen for when you're traveling or going to somebody's house and you don't want to take everything. And that really kind of blew up for us. We hired our first employee at that time and then ran a couple of other Kickstarters. We had one just monster one that blew up on us that we terribly mishandled, but that got us to where we are today in this big building that we're in with like 15 to 20 employees at any given time. So
amazing. It's come a long way then.
Yeah, it has. It's been an interesting ride, that's for sure. We lived through COVID. We had to shut down our business for 2 months due to state mandates.
Yeah, well, how did you find COVID? Because I guess even the business model is very much playing games in person accessories. Did that affect you much? With like a lot of people moved to playing D&D and stuff like that online, didn't they?
Right. Yeah, it was crazy. The strangest thing about it, Matt, was we were closed. Like we were banned. Me and the other owner would come into the building and take care of some things, but we had a staff of 20 that they were not allowed to be in. We wouldn't let them come in. Yeah. And we were still selling. Like we were getting orders every day. And I'm like, I don't know if we're going to reopen or not. Like it's pretty nuts. It was at it was like 35% of our regular sales, but it was just a really crazy time. I was worried about the business and when we'd be able to open up. I was really worried about customer service because we had a 2-person customer service team, and there was no way I could handle the backlog of customer service details. I couldn't even check our database to see where orders were at or what they purchased, and we were getting like complaints on Facebook about it, like how dare they not respond? I'm like, we're literally closed. Like I cannot physically respond right now. But it was interesting. We reopened. The whole staff came back, which was fantastic. And then we just asked everybody, like, hey, we need like 2 months to catch up for the time that we were closed. And our clients were fantastic. Everybody was amazing about it. So it was just you lived through it too. It was just a unprecedented time. It is. I personally take away the mind-numbing stress about the business and its survival. I had a great time. Me and my fiance, we had a great time. We played a bunch of games. We exercised a ton. We did scotch tastings on our own. It was it was wonderful.
That sounds
great. Like early retirement, but short-lived.
Oh, amazing. So all the stuff, it's not kind of mass produced. It's all handmade, isn't it?
It is. The lines between mass produced and handmade are a little blurry. We use CNC machines, but we sculpt them electronically ourselves. Everything that we put through the shop is hand touched.
Yeah.
So it's not on a machine and then it goes out to shipping, but it'll be cut on a machine or it'll be lasered with CO2 lasers, but it's all hand sanded, it's hand cut and hand milled. Everything's hand stained, and I think that's kind of really where we shine is our ability to stain the wood and our artistry when we do that. I think that really is our competitive advantage.
Yeah, and I guess one of the things that I noticed looking at the website, there's a lot of thought into even the types of wood. There's lots of options for people to get, I guess, something that suits them, suits their kind of environment that they're playing in. I guess that's a kind of conscious decision from you guys to have something unique for their table.
Yeah, absolutely. And tastes are completely subjective, right? So everybody wants something different. We do the classic kind of fine woods, but really the majority, 85% of what we sell are kind of the more illustrative, fantasy-oriented things. The pictures on the back of your wall, like
exactly.
We can get close to that, and that's what I enjoy. And we have an artist on staff that does amazing work, and we have a design team that creates mock-ups for our custom customers, and I don't know, we have a lot of range, and we've done a lot of different stuff. And that's what I really enjoy. And we may have started with kind of the fine craftsmanship, more traditional, but at some point we said we're not your grandfather's woodworkers. So we really like turned it on its edge and decided to push it. Like a lot of traditional woodworkers, they won't use stain at all, and we'll stain anything to see what happens.
Yeah.
There's no like line there for us. We'll try anything and experiment and see what happens. And we fail sometimes, but a lot of times if you don't push it, you're going to be stuck in the same place you were always. So.
Yeah, exactly. No, that's really cool. So you guys have had a recent Kickstarter for the Chromatic Edition tiles. Can you tell us about that and how it went?
Yeah, that's we do really small Kickstarters. We had a Kickstarter that blew up on us, and we drastically underpriced it. And it was called the Component Collector. You can find out about it if you search on YouTube. We did a whole video about what troubles that got us into, and we said we were never going to make those again. More emotionally than production wise, but we kind of wanted to revisit that. We did a little mini painter system that I really like. I have this. These are the game tiles that we're talking about. They're trapezoids. Pretty simple. The original kind of tiles that we created were square, but they were a little bit too small for use with a lot of games. And what's cool about the trapezoidal design is that we can orient magnets, which are on the side.
Mm-hmm.
So you can connect them to turn a corner, or you can connect them to create a straight line.
Nice.
So whatever you want to do on your table, however your table landscape is set up, you can do it to match, and then they connect to each other and stack. So you can get 3 or 4 or 5 of them, have them on your shelf, pull them out, and they're ready to go.
That's really cool.
Yeah, and we have that line. The exotic woods are available on our website, and we wanted to see, kind of gauge the temperature of the Kickstarter crowd. So we did a really small, limited Kickstarter, and it went well. We just did a bunch of different colored tiles to see how they would perform.
Yeah,
and we're very pleased.
Well, that's cool. So if people still want to back that, is that possible at the moment?
The Kickstarter's closed, but the pre-order will go up on our site probably through the Pledge Manager on this Friday, the 24th, March 24th.
Cool. So, and what's the kind of rough kind of launch date for those then?
We should May, June. We'll be looking at, I think, July for pre-orders to come out, but it'll be around there. Don't quote me on that exact timeline, but I believe it's July. And that's after the Kickstarter's fulfilled.
Cool. So following this, any other kind of like campaigns on the horizon, or any things that you're tinkering on in the shop? Yeah,
we're always doing something. The other owner he can't sit still, so we're always developing something. Boy, I don't know. We just came out with a new dice tower last Friday.
I saw that. That was very cool.
Oh, thanks. Yeah, we've been thinking about that for a while and finally settled on a design. But it really works well between the panels of our Valhalla screens, which is what we call our GM screens. And it's reversible, so it can roll towards the players, it can roll towards the GM, whichever you like, and gives you a little bit of landscape savings because it's a really small dice tray, and a little bit of design opportunity as well. We're thinking about that for a while, and we'd had a lot of requests for something like that, but because of the kind of the artistic scenes that are on the front of the panels, we wanted something that wouldn't kind of break up that design or interfere too much. So, but I think we came across a good solution. So it's not too interfering, basically, overall, and the utility is still really good.
Awesome. So I know you've got a few accessories for the Valhalla screens. Is this kind of a environment that you're looking to grow over time, then have like fully modular system where people can pretty much put together the screen that they want?
Yeah, honestly, I think we're pretty close right now. I mean, I don't know how many, there's probably a dozen products on there, and with multiple design and customization options. I think we're getting pretty close. We've got engravable charts and plexi that you can put on there, whatever system you're using. Dice towers. The GM decks are something I really like, and those are kind of shelves that go along the bottom of the inside, and I like those quite a bit. And I don't know, whatever happens, we keep DMing and trying it out and seeing, hey, what else could we have for this? So we're always open to iteration or new developments, but it's tough. It gets harder the more you do. Like, what else do you need for DMing? It's interesting.
I guess it helps that you guys, play games yourselves, so it's like
Hmm.
real world experience. And what would I like to have in this,
Yes.
little setup? So that's really cool.
Yeah.
So if somebody was looking to maybe start upgrading their gaming setup, is there anything from, your site that you'd recommend them maybe starting with or trying out?
Oh, yeah. As a player, I definitely go with the player pad, which
Hmm.
is basically banded wood together. There's 3 compartments in it, one for dice, one for writing utensils, and then a little rolling tray area. And that gets covered with a piece of plexiglass,
Mm.
which doesn't sound sexy, but it is sexy because we can engrave whatever you want on top of that. So
Okay.
we have kind of standard character sheets for useful information that you can use a dry erase or a wet erase on top of. But I like the combat actions one that you put
Mm.
on top for new players that lets you know what exactly you can do during a round, what
That's
some of
cool.
those rules are, and that's just a helpful piece of reference. And then they're fully customizable on the front side of that, so you can get something that's close to your character theme and is
Yeah.
interesting and beautiful in the same.
That's really cool.
Mm-hmm.
So what's your favorite product then from the range? Out of all the stuff that you do, what would be your
Oh,
go-to choice?
it's got to be Valhalla screens. I like them so much. There's something about sitting behind it when you're running a game. I don't know. It gives you that feeling of gravitas a little bit more than a cardboard screen would do. Or I've always loved screens. I think
Yeah.
a lot of people don't use them, but and I understand that. That's fine. Do what you want. Play how you want. But I love it. It's like a full custom dashboard that you can set up however you want. You feel ready to go. And as a DM, like I always feel like I'm not organized enough, or I don't know where everything is, and I don't know. This just makes it real easy to take away that part of DMing and let you focus on telling the story that you want, getting the PCs involved, whatever you know, the rest of the good stuff of the story, not like where's my D20, where the hell's my pen.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Well, the one we reviewed had clear magnetic front panels rather than the kind of nice. Some really
Oh
nice
yeah, yeah,
sculpted ones, isn't there? But it's really
yep.
cool being able to just like switch out scenes or maps as and when
Hmm.
during the game, which was again really nice for the players and for me to store the stuff so I know where this map is as well, like during the game.
Right,
um,
right.
so so no, it's really fun. So you guys play games. What do you regularly play? What's your kind of go-to RPG then?
Me personally, I'm in too many games. I have like a blessing and a curse. You know how people say like you can never put an RPG group together? I think
Yeah.
because of my work environment and how many people play here and the context that I've gained through it, I play too much. So I'm running Curse of Strahd right now with a six
Oh,
player group.
nice.
Yeah, 6 players is kind of hell. I'm not fond of it, but I can't kick anyone out. And then we're doing my favorite game at the moment. Where I'm playing in is Mutineer Zero Gen Lab Alpha,
Okay,
which
yeah.
I love. I love that setting. I love that world. I think it's marvelous what Free League has done. Are you familiar with that
Oh, yeah,
system at
yeah,
all?
yeah.
And I'm my fiance is actually GMing it for me and the group, and then we're planning on doing Elysium after that, and then Mechatron after that, and then you bring the whole party together once you break out into this post-apocalyptic world, and you can play whatever character you wanted out of the 3 that
Oh,
you've
that's
played
cool.
already, and then play through a final scenario, which is it's brilliant. It's brilliant. And then I'm playing in a Transformers group. Uh,
Okay.
yeah, it's interesting. It's a Renegade Games group game RPG. And that's interesting. And I'm not familiar with the canon as much as a lot of the group is, so I think I'm aged out of that a little bit. But it's fun. It's a really kind of not knowing the canon is very freeing. There's no tropes, right? So
Yeah.
I don't feel like, oh, this is what a ranger does. I'm a gunner that's shaped like an old police car. So I can do whatever the hell I want, which is really nice
Yeah.
and free.
I guess it's quite nice going into a setting and maybe not knowing the background and just kind of discovering it all as you go as well. It
Yeah,
must be quite fun.
it is. It's certainly different. And then I'm kind of obsessed with Marvel Crisis Protocol at the
Oh,
moment.
yes.
Made that yesterday, and that's a drain on my brain as well as my wallet. But I really like that. I love the tactical aspect of it, and I think as I continue to play games, I continue to play RPGs. I I'm kind of moving away from the tactical quality of like 3.5. I played Pathfinder a ton, and that's very tactical and mini oriented, and you kind of like you have an Excel spreadsheet for your character up to 20th level to get your feat trees ready. And now I'm kind of more enjoying just playing role-playing games and having fun telling that story, and then kind of using the right game for tactics, which is something like Crisis Protocol, which is a brain burner in that way. I like Arkham Horror LCG is fantastic. That's kind of one of the games that made me realize what board or card games could actually do on the table. My fiance owns a game company as well, so we play a ton of board games. So I know we were supposed to meet yesterday, but I couldn't at 3 because my board game group comes over, and she basically tells us which new game we're going to try out just to learn mechanics, which is wonderful, but it's crazy. I play too many games.
That's not a bad problem, but the problem is having enough time to play those games, isn't it?
It really is.
Awesome. So before we let you go, there's always 2 questions that we have to end every interview with. What's your favourite sprue? So plastic kit, plastic miniatures kit. And what's your favourite brew, hot drink, or beverage of choice?
Sprue. I really like Steamforged Games Epic Encounters. I think it's a brilliant idea. It's really well done. I've always liked their minis. Guild Ball minis were awesome. But right now I got to go with Crisis Protocol. I just got Beta Ray Bill and Ulick.
Me too. Fantastic. I've got a Guardians of the Galaxy Force, so had to add Beta Ray Bill to him.
He's brutal. I won yesterday by 1 point, which is
nice.
Last play, last turn, and he ran out of power. My opponent he didn't have enough power to work with the objective. So if he would have had 1 power, it would have been a 2-point swing, and he would have won by 1.
They're always fun games where it's close and it goes down to last turn, though.
That game is crazy. It's crazy. Love it.
And what about your favourite brew? So hot drink or alcoholic beverage, if you prefer.
I do love my scotch. I can't go without doing that. I'm a pretty straight, good coffee guy. I like tea.
Excellent.
I like tea in the afternoon, but I like tea. I need coffee.
Amazing.
Straight black, good. As long as it's good, I'm good with it. But scotch is my scotch. I love.
Snap. So, well, thank you so much for joining us. Check out Dogmite Games. They do all sorts of awesome stuff. Also, check out our Valhalla screen review, which I'll link in the description. But until next time, have a great time, and we'll see you soon.